Hey my friends, today I'm taking you for the most wonderful forest walk we've ever been. I just found another truly amazing place, and I said it would be a great time to talk a little bit about different things. So I just came here and I've experienced a thought like it would be amazing to talk a little bit what is poisoning our spirits, because that's what is truly lowering down our vibration, and it is putting us into that mind prison where we experience ourselves separated from everything, and we become really small creatures, powerless, disempowered. And I often see people staying in that state and they don't know what to do about it. So what is poisoning your spirit? Firstly, when it comes to spending too much time in our minds, my friends, it is poisoning our spirit, because the spirit wants to be free. It wants to express itself. It is always urging to express itself, right? Like the nature, if we look around here, what the spirit is doing here, it is expressing itself through trees, through everything you see. The spirit is expressing itself through it. And same, it wants to express through us, through our bodies. Body is a vehicle and mind is an instrument which is helping us to create wonders, to create beautiful things, right? But if we spend too much time in our minds, we start overthinking, overanalyzing, comparing ourselves with others, and comparison is a thief of joy, right? We start judging ourselves. Then we start pulling ourselves down. We say to ourselves that we haven't done enough, we need to do more, we are not good enough, we are not worthy to receive more beautiful things, we need to suffer. And then we are asking why all of that is happening, right? How often we experience that? How often we truly experience that? That's what is poisoning our spirit. The greatest birds are agreeing with us. We are truly connected right now. So I hope you can join me here in this beautiful forest walk. I hope you can see me well. Let me do it like this. I hope you are all having a beautiful day, my friends, that you are having a magnificent day. If any of you is experiencing like your spirit has been poisoned by your negative perception, or maybe a certain negative person in your life. Sometimes we are hanging with a certain person which may be more negatively oriented or is just suffering, and we get home and we suddenly experience like we are completely without of energy, without any drive to do anything, without any inspiration. Oh, look at that tree. Oh, look at that. Do you see that? That's how you feel that this tree is something special. Oh, it is truly amazing. I want to show you. You know, you just feel that this is something special. This one is like the older tree here, definitely. Look at that. This is what is feeding our spirit. We need to be free. We need to experience life freely, like birds, like nature does. And there's such a good energy. If you could feel it right now, there's such a good energy. Probably because of the great coherence between all of those trees. Oh, I could be just quiet right now and I could just enjoy here. But oh, I feel so inspired to talk about this right now. Look at that. This is what is feeding up our spirit, you know, getting ourselves to the places like that. Going into nature, it's the cure. It's the cure when you feel like your spirit has been poisoned by maybe a negative person, or maybe you're spending too much time in your mind. We need to go to places like that. We need to go to places like that, and we need to stay there until we cleanse ourselves. That's what nature does. That's what nature does. So what else is poisoning our spirits? Negative self-talk, as we've been talking before, right? Negative self-talk is always poisoning your spirit. Why we have the ability to talk? Look at that tree. Look at that. When I was little, my parents were always joking that if trees like that, inside is living a witch. I don't know from where the stories are coming from, probably from the ancient Slavic people, maybe from the witchcraft. Maybe the witches are living in the trees. And you know, negative self-talk is poison for the spirit. Why we have the ability to talk? So we can express our spirit, right? But if we want to express our spirit, we need to know our spirit. If we don't know our spirit, we will think that what we think is the spirit. But spirit is not in thoughts. Thoughts are just through thoughts. We are trying to express the spirit. That's why it's important to always think deeply. It's important to always go deeper into ourselves, to learn to express our spirits. That's what is making us unique, my friends. That's what is making us unique. Right? So once we learn to express our spirits, we will never have a negative self-talk anymore. we will suddenly start expressing that internal power, that internal force, which is coming from somewhere else. And we will start singing with it. We will start painting with it. We will start drawing with it. And we will feel truly inspired to do more of that. Where else to go? So what else is poisoning our spirits, my friends? Negative environment is poisoning our spirits. How often you find yourself in a negative environment, and if you spend enough time there, you suddenly feel like like something would squeeze the life force out of you, right? And again you come back home and you feel like like you just want to sleep. You don't want to do anything else, you just want to sleep. You need to recharge yourself. There are methods we can gain our energy back, or we can protect our energy. We can use again our minds to do that. Why most people are using their minds for poisoning their spirits? Why? Like birds are using their minds to sing. Why we are using our minds to poisoning ourselves? Because we don't know how to use our minds to create wonders, to create beauty. You know, we all feel something. All the time we all feel something. But nobody truly taught us to what to do with those feelings. That's why there's so much hurt and chaos and fear and anger on the world, because we all feel something, right? But if we don't know what to do with those feelings, most probably we will express them in the most negative way, because it's the most familiar. For many people, it's the most familiar way to express our feelings in a negative way. We perceive something negative. We see war is happening. Pandemic was happening. People were losing jobs. People were losing health and loved ones and so on. And people became angry and frustrated because things are not changing and all of that. Actually, things are changing, but if we're lost in that negative perspective, we can't see the change. We can see just more and more chaos, even though chaos is another representation of change. As the butterfly, the caterpillar is going through chaos before it emerges into a butterfly. So chaos is unpredictable order, and it is a part of nature. So my friends, we all feel something, as I said before, and we need to learn to do something with our feelings. And what artists are doing? Artists are transforming their feelings into as beautiful as possible creations. Of course, in the past we've seen a lot of negative music, which was like a mirror of society, where society is right now. And we've seen many dark paintings. But what we see now, we see more and more conscious artists, right? Because as the consciousness is awakening, what is consciousness? Consciousness truly is awareness. As we've been exposed to more and more and more information, we are becoming more and more aware of more and more things. And when our awareness is expanding, our consciousness is expanding, and when it is happening on a global level, collective consciousness is expanding, and that's what we say, that collective consciousness is rising. When the collective consciousness is rising, we are becoming more alert to what is happening within ourselves. And we suddenly recognize that whatever we do, it affects others. And with that greater state of awareness, we start to think, well, if I will express my pain in a negative way, it may hurt somebody. That's the byproduct of awakening. And people start to truly think deeply. How could I transform my pain into something beautiful? And suddenly the universe sends you a vision. Here you go, I've chosen you. And you've started healing your spirit by grabbing that vision and transforming it into a painting. Same is with music, same is with video, same is with video games. If you're producing video games, if you're gardening, whatever you're doing, that's how the universe is communicating with you. So, my friends, there's a solution for any poison for your spirit. If you feel like your spirit has been poisoned, there's a solution. Grounding yourself at places like that, and then doing something with that. We need to become creative, because we are the extension of the Creator. We need to be creative. That's what is what is truly making us feeling alive, what is truly giving us that feeling of being alive. We need to be creative. So the lack of creative expression is also poisoning our spirit. The lack of creative expression is poisoning our spirit because our purpose truly is to create. But the point is that each of us needs to find what we want to create. We need to create a purpose out of that purpose. The fundamental purpose is to create, to do something with your gifts, with your talents, with your mind. That's the fundamental purpose. But then, because of your free will, you can decide, well, what will I truly create? And the greatest question that I always ask myself when I'm feeling disconnected, I ask myself, what could be the greatest expression of myself? How could I express myself today? Uniquely. How could I express myself today uniquely? And then I truly pay attention to the thoughts which are popping in, and I write them down to truly see what is coming up, what my intuition is saying. Because, my friends, we are truly lacking that creative expression, that transformation of painful feelings, of negative feelings to a beautiful work. Because once more and more people will start doing that, suddenly we will not need any war anymore. We will not need any spirit poisons anymore. There will be no toxic people anymore, because the toxicity is actually coming from, firstly, from suppression of the fear, right? We are afraid of something we don't understand, and because we don't understand it, we suppress the fear, and because we've suppressed the fear, we've created anger. And then what to do with anger? We don't know what to do with anger, so we just transmit it to somebody. We just pass by somebody, something happens, and we express anger. Because we don't know what else to do with it, right? That's poisoning our spirits. Fear is poisoning our spirits. Anger is poisoning our spirits. If we are suppressing it, it's like we are staying plugged to that poison. And now we are getting lost a little bit. I need to find a way. And when we don't know what to do with all of that, we find ourselves at a truly dark place. And that's where we start identifying ourselves as a bad person. I'm a bad person. I can't change. You see, I'm truly, whatever. But there's the solution, my friends. There's the solution. And what is the solution? What is the greatest cure? Firstly, to truly connect with how we feel. Okay, you feel anger. Okay, you feel fear. Okay, you feel whatever you feel. And acknowledge it. And grab a piece of paper and just write it out. Or draw it. Whatever you feel, draw it. Paint it. Grab colors and start putting it all over the place, all over the canvas. And just express it, just pull it out. You need to pull it out all. And suddenly your spirit will start singing and dancing and jumping around from happiness and joy, and suddenly you will feel alive. You will feel completely alive. You will feel completely alive, and that's the solution, my friends. So if you feel like your spirit has been poisoned, here's the solution. Always go to places like this one here. If you can't go into nature, you can visualize the nature. You can visualize sitting in the nature or walking in the nature, or you can watch videos like that. How you're walking through the forest and hugging trees and reconnecting back with life. You know, there's the same life force which is expressing through all possible trees, is expressing through you. Right? So always, when you feel drained, when you feel like somebody has squeezed the life force from you, just disconnect from all the drama, chaos, and all the action that is happening in your life and go into nature. That's what is healing us. But then you need to find out, how will you overcome those things? Will you still hang with some people? Will you still be doing same habits or falling into same patterns? Will you be still thinking same thoughts? Because it can be quite exhausting if we learn to recharge ourselves, but then we fell back into our old patterns. We truly need to learn to design new patterns which are beneficial for us, which are helping us to stay on higher vibrations, to truly stay true to ourselves. And we need to learn to protect ourselves. So how to protect your energy? You can always visualize like you have a shield around you if it helps. Usually for empaths, it helps. But to protect your energy is also you need to know how to set boundaries, how to say no when you have enough of something. Right? Sometimes we are in a beautiful conversation, but if conversation gets too long, it starts draining our energy. And once we become aware that something is draining our energy, we need to say, no, it's enough. Sometimes we are hanging with not the right people, and we need to say no. And sometimes we always need to stand for our rights. And we need to know our rights. Like I said before, we need to know our spirits. We need to know what feels good for us, what is bringing us joy, what is bringing us love, what is our truth. Your truth doesn't need to be the same truth as your friend's truth. But it doesn't mean that you should fight with each other, or that you should, compete whose truth is more important or whatever. We need to understand our rights and our needs and our truth. And that's how we can learn to protect our energy. So my friends, this is it for today's forest walk. Let me know, how was it? Let me know in the comments below. If you could feel any kind of energy, because this place today was truly mystical, truly amazing. So my friends, until next time, I'm sending you all lots of love, lots of blessings and power. Have a beautiful day. And to everyone who would love to learn to paint with me, go and check out my other YouTube channel. The link is in the description below. Art Time is the name. And thanks to all of you for supporting my art in my Etsy shop. I Draw My Passion. You're all truly appreciated. Until next time, one love.